Well, howdy there, folks. How's it going today? I hope you're all doing really good. In the last video, we was looking at this guitar here. This one belongs to the old man, and he wants me to change it around. He just picked this up recently, and it's got EMG pickups in it, kind of the John 5 thing going on here. It's a really cool guitar, though. It's got a nice neck, too. He just wants something different. So I was going to compare the pickups to the P90s that we're going to put in it, but this isn't really wired in standard configuration, if you will. So I didn't think it would be a really fair, comparison. Not that I'm really into comparisons, but maybe it would have given somebody a chance to hear what EMG sound like in a telecaster if you're thinking about doing that. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there anyway. So we're going to put some P90s in this. We're going to take the guitar completely apart. I'm going to take the neck off it and everything too. And we'll just kind of start from square one. All right, well, I'm going to take the neck off it here. We got a battery cavity carved out in the back here. Looks kind of like Frankensteinish. I love this stuff. Everything has a story behind it. Anyway, we're going to take the battery out and unhook all the electrical in there. But I want to get the neck unhooked here just to make it a little easier to work on. All right, we got a nice Fender neck plate here, 4-bolt. What do you guys think about these little pieces that you find underneath the neck plate? Yay or nay? I mean, most of mine just have the plate bolted onto it. Do you think it numbs the tone? I don't really know. I've never really actually dove down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. I really don't know exactly what it's all about. Maybe just to keep the spacing correct. I don't really know. Or just give it a little bigger footprint. In any case, we'll put it back on when we bolt everything up again. So let me know what you think about that. Okay, we'll cut the strings off and get the neck removed here. Now, I did notice there was some frets that needed some attention. I was bending a couple notes down in this area. See if I can get it in focus. There's some big dents and divots here in 2 or 3 of the frets. Here's a couple more here. And they're quite deep, enough so you can't bend the string past it. Now, what that usually is something fell over and hit it, or the guitar fell over and hit something. I've had this happen before, and it'll hit that string and actually cut into the fret. It's, I guess it's better than denting the fretboard, but I've done this myself. Some of them you can clean up, and some of them you gotta, yank the fret and start over. I've tried filling them before, like, super glue or stuff like that, but really at the end of the day, a new fret's the way to go. Well, we got some locking tuners here. This guitar has some good bones, I will say that. A lot of nice parts on here. It's fun to take these, inexpensive guitars and put a few parts on them. It's not a really huge expense, but, it's pretty amazing some of the stuff you can come up with, and they do tend to sound really nice. And like I said, these necks on these Squires, seems like every one of them I come across is just a good feeling, well done neck. All right, there's a little peek at the neck plate there, neck pocket, I should say. Looks like an R and a L or a 9/8 possibly. I don't know. Anyway, it looks pretty clean in there, I will say that. I don't know what the wood is. Maybe basswood or alder. It's quite light. It could be. I really don't know, but I'm not a wood expert. Maybe we'll get a better peek here as we get going. All right, we got a big plastic container for the parts. I like to use all these see-through containers. I save all of them that I can really get. It's nice to be able to at least look through it when you have a pile of stuff and you're searching for parts or whatever. And the bigger ones are better for me because, I can put everything in there, including the pick guard or whatever. So I can fit most of the parts right in one container and, get it secured off the bench so it doesn't get knocked over. And we've been there before too. All right, so we're going to get the pick guard off here. And we'll take a look under the hood. Pull the pickups out. We'll get the control plate unhooked too here. Okay. The first electric guitar I played was a Telecaster. Belonged to one of my uncles. I think it was a 62, maybe, or a 68. I can't really remember. But it had a set of PAFs in it. Humbuckers, Gibsons, right? And the pick guard and all the surrounds he had made out of like a milk jug or something. It was really crudely done. And it had like a 3-way, Les Paul toggle switch kind of poking out down here somewhere. Maybe it was up there. I can't remember. Man, that thing was an absolute monster. That sounded so good. I never forgot that guitar. It was just as good of an experience to the ear when I first played it, as some of these guitars that I pick up today. But that one really stands out to me for some reason. I did play it quite a while too. All right, let's take a peek here. So we got the EMGs. I really can't read the models. We'll have to get them unhooked and then we'll go from there. I wanted to look in here as well and just see what the cavity looked like. It looks okay. Got some shielding paint in there. We'll get the bridge pulled out here too. Let's get this plate unhooked. So, I know this is a Squire Tele bridge because there's no side walls on it. And you got the extra screws too. So anyway, they're a little longer. And these guitars are thinner than a regular, made in Mexico Telecaster or USA one. They're really different, honestly. The headstock's a little bigger on these than a regular Fender. I found most of the little things, that are different. And this is one of them too, this bridge plate. But they're a whole different guitar, in my opinion, than a full thickness body. And these are the differences with the bridge plate, headstock, that all adds up. But I really like the sound of them, and I like the weight. I like the way they play. They're almost indestructible. I've dropped mine on the floor 3 or 4 times. And it, just added a few beauty marks to it, really, honestly, but it didn't hurt it. And, other brands may not have fared so well. Okay, well, we got the bridge unhooked. I'm pretty sure these are plug and play. I'm just going to take notice of which way the wires are going right now for my own reference. Okie doke. I mean, it's possible they only go in one way, but I'm not sure. Let's pull them out and see what happens. Okay, there's that one. Same here. I do like that feature. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so this is an 81, I think that says. EMG 81. Now, I've got a set of old EMGs from the 1980s actually in the cabinet. Okay, and this is an 89R. Okay. Made in USA. Great pickups. They got kind of like a powder coated surface. Very well done. You know, on stage, these things don't hum. I will say that. That was a big deal back in the 80s and in the 90s when people were using these a lot. So, myself included, that was the first thing I noticed. And I did gravitate towards those guitars when we played, you know, in a crappy room that had terrible power and everything hummed. I would, you know, pull out my Super Strat with the EMGs. Well, it is routed for a HH setup here. Wonder why they didn't shield the back cavity. I guess we'll never know. Alright, let's get the control plate unhooked. I don't know if you guys enjoy the Winter Olympics, but I sure do. And I just started watching some of that stuff, like I like the luge, the skeleton, the bobsled stuff. That's all really, really interesting. And I'm just crazy enough that I'd want to try it, you know what I mean? I still would, you know. I think you can actually pay. I think there's a place maybe somewhere in the United States here in the Northeast, you might be able to pay to actually do that. You never know. I'm just foolish enough to try it. Holy moly, look at the wire in here, folks. Wow. I'm surprised like birds and stuff didn't come out of there. Oh yeah, this is all that kind of stuff and then some. We got some wood splinters and God, that is madness. Let's just zoom in. I don't want to leave you guys out here. Okay, so you know, usually you have circuit boards involved. That's what we're looking at here. So I'll have to kind of keep this together and intact because, you know, there's no way I can sort this out. Not by eye. Maybe some of you can. It's been a long time since I've had a guitar with EMGs on the bench, so we'll take a good peek at it and see if we can make sense of it. If not, like I said, I want to try to keep it all together anyway, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, so we do have this. I just discovered this kind of pulls out and swings out of the way here. This may disconnect in the same fashion with plugs. I think it does, so that's pretty user-friendly, actually. Enough so I could probably figure this out. Alright, well, the beat goes on. Alright, we'll get the jack plate out here. Now I'm guessing I could probably go online and find some wiring diagrams for these two. But it looks pretty straightforward, like I said. I think these are just plug and play, but we'll have to look a little deeper. Sorry about the camera bouncing around. I gotta get that loosened up here. We'll get the rest of this in the tray. Alright. Well, I think it's going to come out that way. It's not going to have much choice in a second. There it is. Okay. What do we got left? We got these pickup leads. I'm thinking those are plugged in. I can unhook on the other end, which I'll do that. I'm not sure if I can get that through that one hole right here, though. I'll have to look at that. Maybe one end's smaller than the other. Okay, well, that took a little bit of fishing to get them wires out of there, but we got everything unhooked. I'll have to refer to my own video probably to hook them back up where they go, but I think we'll be in good shape. I don't know what I'll put them in. We'll have to see what unfolds. Okie doke, so here's all the EMG stuff. It is basically plug and play. It's pretty easy to do as well. Took me a little while to try to get all these connectors through one hole. You have to do is put one through with the wire first, and the other ones will come through. You gotta make it up sometimes as you go, guys. Alright, we got a wire poked out here. That's an old ground wire. And we've got a nice hole through here. We'll do something clever with that, maybe. We'll see. That don't bother me anyway, that kind of stuff, you know. That's just character. You see that stuff all the time. Not everybody's got a router at their kitchen table when they're doing this. So, you know, you see these kind of things. It's easy enough to clean up if you want to do that too. Now, sometimes you'd see batteries up here under the pit guards too, and then they just poke a wire through this way. You know, there's all kinds of places to do it, but that will be just fine. We're not going to put a battery back in this one anyway, so we'll, I don't know, we'll figure something out. I may put the battery thing back in the, you know, if I can find one of those hard plastic, I don't know what you call it. It's where you place your 9-volt battery in instead of just the normal battery snap like these. It's a whole plastic piece that your battery kind of clips into. I'm sure you guys have seen them. I've got some somewhere here in the shop. Maybe I can retrofit something like that in there and then make a, you know, clean the cover up or whatever, make another one. Who knows? We'll figure it out as we go. It's not really a big deal anyway. This one's going to get played, so we really don't care. It's nothing that's going to be sold and try to make money on or anything like that. You can't with this stuff, you know. Make it your own. So again, we got a pretty good neck here. We'll have to oil it up, skunk stripe. Good set of tuners, lockers. Got a few frets, like I said, that we got to clean up. But for now, that was the first hurdle, to get it stripped out. And the next one will be to mount some pickups back in here. We're going to rewire the guitar completely because we have no wires in it, so we kind of have to. Now, these are P90s. I think them are going to look pretty cool. We'll see what they look like in the scratch guard. Should fit okay. And we did test these out yesterday. I can't remember what they were for ohms, but I think they'll sound nice. I've played a few tellies with P90s in them, and they're kind of special. I really enjoyed it anyway. It was kind of useful to me, at least, you know, as far as the sounds that I heard from them. So this should be interesting. I've never taken one of these thin bodies and put the P90s in, anything like that. So hopefully it's some sort of a nuance for you guys too when we get it all done. And really cheap to do, honestly. I mean, if it doesn't have these routes, you could probably do that yourself too. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It just needs to function, you know. Like I said, that first telly I ever played, I wished I had that guitar. That thing was mind-blowing. I mean, it was so crudely done. I mean, this looks like this should be in a museum compared to what that was. But man, oh man, didn't that thing have some sound? It was just incredible. Anyways, thanks for watching. This will be kind of the first stage of it, like I said. The next thing will be I'll strip the pick guard out. We'll get the pickup out of the bridge and get everything mounted back in here and wired up. We're going to run some new wires and stuff, like I said. So we'll get some stuff dug out. I need to get a jack, some tone pots, and a three-way switch. I've got a bunch of that stuff here, so I don't have to wait for it in the mail at least, and should go along pretty smoothly and pretty fast. One more session on this, and I can probably get this back up and running. All right, well, thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.